Do you have a bit of a copycat on your hands? Have you noticed that one of your pets, perhaps your youngest, just seems to mimic your oldest cat? In this material, I'll talk about social learning, learning through observation, and I'll provide a few of the most common and notable examples of this mimic-style behavior. I'll also talk about a few of the common reasons for copying, and how various influences can play a role with respect to what and who is imitated. Not all feline behaviors are copied, and there are reasons for that. Thank you for paying Senior Cat Wellness a visit, and thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. Enjoy the video. At the core, there are quite a few twists and turns to a topic like this. Just a lot of finer details to unpack, but to answer today's question, yes indeed. Cats will mimic the behavior of other felines in certain circumstances, certain social settings, certain environmental settings. I'll kick things off with the social aspect, social learning, which is simply learning through observation. This is not unlike a child, sometimes, and parents out there, you can probably speak to this one. Sometimes in those earlier years, it can be difficult to get a child to do what's right, especially if a lot of their peers are doing, well, other things. One kid throws a rock, the next thing you know, your kid's throwing a rock. Your kid comes home from school and says a word that you don't approve of. You ask them where they heard it, where they learned it, and they name off some kid in their class. It happens. Actions and behaviors through observation. When it comes to copycats, whether we're talking cats or kids, it's a lot of the same. Now, while such imitation isn't step for step and action per action, in the most literal sense, cats can form new behaviors by watching. If they see one cat, especially a cat they look up to and view as the leader, if that cat does something a younger cat, perhaps your younger cat, well, they could be eager to do the same. And it works for both good and for bad. Cats learn to hunt and stalk, or at least fine-tune it, by watching other cats, first mama cat, and then other cats they see. Could be litter mates, could be another cat in the home that is much, much older. Cats are influenced by the positive and the negative by other cats. Right now I have 3 cats and I look after 2 others. I can tell you that over time my core 3, they learned from each other by watching each other. I won't go into the laundry list of examples, but time has shown that if one cat just organically starts to do something, it's only been a matter of days or weeks before the other cats start to do something very similar. It's almost like whatever it is simply something they never thought of themselves. Once one cat does something and then the others say, well, look, that looks interesting. Think I'll give it a go. The next thing I know, I've got 3 cats, more times than not, doing something silly. I'll throw out a few common examples, but I think most everyone in the audience can name them. How cats play, where they hide, how they get the attention of humans, how they groom, interacting or associating with something, an object for example, that they never paid attention to before. One cat, perhaps the senior cat, decides something out of nowhere is interesting, and then the very next thing you know, a younger cat thinks that object is now the best thing going. I mentioned kids earlier. I guess one of the most relatable examples, similar to copying peers, would be an example of siblings. Little bro sees big bro doing something, acting a certain way, walking a certain way, talking a certain way, dressing a certain way, and the next thing anyone knows, the younger brother is doing the same. Here again, potentially for both good and bad consequences, unfortunately. That's a good transition to speak on the importance of influence, mainly why some cats seem to mimic while others don't. Sometimes it's not about what happens, what a cat is doing that seems interesting and worthy of imitating or attempting, but rather who is in fact doing it. Do cats mimic other cats? Yes, but it's rare for a cat to simply mimic any other cat. Typically, there has to be some level of trust and respect in play. Not always, but many times. For example, if you have a senior cat in the home, a very old cat, almost 20 years of age, and you also have some kittens under that same roof, very young cats, perhaps young adult cats, there's a good chance that those young cats view your senior cat as the wisest feline in the world, the smartest cat around. Mimic style behavior, whatever that older cat does, there's a good chance that those young cats will attempt it. It's possible that they will attempt to copy most every behavior, simply because the respect level for that older cat is so very high. From personal experience, I've seen kittens view a senior cat almost like a grand teacher, the ultimate professor who could do no wrong. kittens always wanting to be near that older feline. When it comes to the copycats and copycat behaviors, many times there is a pecking order. Cats that are mimicked are often at the top of the line, the head of the class, the highest dominance arena. Dominant cats, alpha cats, are often mimicked by kittens and other felines who are deemed a bit lower on the status card. Here again, going back to those human examples, the coolest kid in school. They often dictate the social scene, how they walk, how they talk, what they wear. The cool kid is the trendsetter. This is true for the alpha cat. They set the trends, and the trends are copied. Social status is very important for numerous reasons, but it also trickles down to how other cats behave. Cats that are respected, a bit older and more mature, they often hold all the power when it comes to hierarchy in the feline world. Cats don't imitate or copy the weak. They copy the strong and seasoned. Things that a cat has ignored, actions that a cat would never consider taking. If a mature feline, a cat that is high on the status card, starts to play with a certain toy, move a certain way, become intrigued by something, other cats will soon follow. This is very common in that home environment. Cats learn by watching. Additionally, and this is certainly helpful for new cat owners, if you're able to train just one of your cats, get them to do as they're told, as you want them to do within your environment, get them to behave in a positive way. If that cat is respected and has all the influence, then other cats will very well, or could very well, fall in line. They'll do right, not because they understand, but they'll just simply follow the lead of the cat they respect the most. Now, I don't recommend putting all of your eggs in that basket, but it can happen. A situation where you win just one cat over and the rest just tuck in line behind the alpha, behind the dominant feline, allowing the most respected cat to have that positive influence on the rest of the group. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, I'd like to ask this question. To those who have a multi-cat household but started off and perhaps lived for years with just one cat, have you found it actually easier to have multiple cats rather than just that one? Was the transition made easier because your original cat became the teacher, the professor? Were the new cats influenced in such a positive way that any type of mimic behavior worked in your favor? I'd be interested to read those responses. And if anyone would like to add to the conversation, your thoughts, general thoughts and opinions, have your cats copied what they've seen? Has it helped you or hurt you as a cat owner? The comment section, as always, it's all yours. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.